From Oshkosh Community Media Services, this is Oshkosh City Cable 10 and broadcast on 101.9 FM WOCT Oshkosh.
The Oshkosh Senior Center presents Senior Savvy.
Hi, welcome to Senior Savvy. I'm Jane Wells. Senior Savvy is brought to you by the Oshkosh Senior Center, where it's our mission to enrich the quality of lives for adults ages 50 and older. A little bit later in today's show, we're talking about an event we have coming up that we're very excited about at the Senior Center. It is our Fall Family Fun Fest. But first, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Julie Kiefer from the Oshkosh Senior Center.
Hi.
Hi there. And then our guest and our topic for today, which is the Community Foundations. So.
Yes, and joining us today we have Carlene Grabner, who is the Director of Donor Services with the Community Foundation, and we're very pleased to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. First, though, we have some very exciting news at the Senior Center, and our own Jane Wells has a very new position. She will be our Activities Coordinator. Not new position, new for her.
Yes.
She will be our Activities Coordinator and taking the position that people know as Judy's job.
Yes, the new Judy, as they say.
Right. So she will have a lot of responsibilities with that, and we're very excited for you.
Me too. I'm excited too. Thank you. Looking forward to just growing the programs and activities and seeing where we can take it all. That doesn't mean that I won't still be involved with volunteers, because of course the activity coordinator works very closely with volunteers. So even though I won't be the volunteer coordinator per se, I'll still be working with the volunteers. So looking forward to it.
Good. We are too. So Carlene.
Yes.
Foundation.
Yes.
Tell us, what is the foundation? Tell us what you do.
The Oshkosh Area Community Foundation is celebrating its 85th anniversary this year, so we are 85 years old, and we have about $90 million in assets, $88 million to be precise. So we do a couple different things. To sum it up very easily, we bring money in and we gift money out. We do that in different capacities. We do that through agencies such as yourself, where we work with our community nonprofits, and then we also do that with donors, individual donors who are alive and direct us on where their passions are and where they want to give money to. And then we also work with a lot of advisors in town and work with people who have gifted their estates to our foundation, and we execute their wishes through their will and what they were passionate about while they were living. So it's kind of a easy snapshot of the work we do. But we're proud to be 85 years old and serving this community for a long time, and hope to be here for another 85.
Very nice.
Now, you specifically, what is your role within the foundation?
So my role is I am Director of Donor Services, and also I guess I'm going to take the opportunity to say we hired a new CEO and president of our organization, who has been with us now 3 weeks, and her name is Diane Abraham, and she has extensive experience in the fundraising, philanthropy, foundation world. So we're happy to have her join us, and look forward to getting her to all of our groups and meeting all of the wonderful constituents. But I am Director of Donor Services, so my role is working with donors. That's primary role, working with donors in our agencies and having their passion fit their philanthropic wishes, and finding programs that are well run in the community and matching the two of them. It's kind of like making magic happen with their philanthropic dollars, so it's a good job.
Very neat.
And then I also work with agencies like yourself, like the Senior Center, on endowment building and estate planning, and work with our attorneys and advisors on how we can help the community better do their goals of being philanthropic, and how we can help execute that.
Sure. Great. So why is it important to have a community foundation in Oshkosh?
So most communities do have a community foundation. It is like the #1 growing form of philanthropy. The great thing about a community foundation, I'm proud to say, we're the 14th community foundation. So Oshkosh was way ahead of the curve when we started 85 years ago. However, we kind of stayed pretty closed behind the scenes till about 20, 30 years ago. We were founded on scholarships, so you will see a lot of scholarships come through foundations as well. But it's important to have a community foundation to support all different areas in the community. Some people are passionate about arts, some people are passionate about taking care of the elderly, some people are passionate about parks, the youth, all of these different facets, and we kind of act as a like an umbrella or a mothership of all the different entities that make a community a wonderful place to live, work, and be. And you need all of that in order to do that. So it's an important place to have a spot for those assets to be held and then directed.
So I think we're showing on the screen now some of your more famous projects. You want to say anything about some of those and how they came to be?
Absolutely, and that's a great way to put it, Julie. These are some of our more famous projects. The most recent, the hotel and the convention center, the Community Foundation did its first loans to the community, and other foundations have done that through the years, but these were our first loans on a project that will be paid back over a long time, but it will be paid back. Pollock Pool was one of our funnest projects. And boy, we raised $7 million in 28 days, and the community wanted a pool. And obviously, that is a project that is so wonderful to be a part of, because we had gifts that were $1 million, and we had children bringing in their piggy banks. So that definitely was a huge example of philanthropy and passion runs all spectrums. And then, yes.
What a beautiful facility. This summer was my first summer having the opportunity to go there, and it's beautiful and wonderful, and something the community can be very proud of.
It is, yes. And yes, it's wonderful. And then we're also showing the downtown, which we've been very instrumental in, and the Leach Amphitheater, and then the tree project was also a very big project. I do have to say, though, these are the things we are most famous for, but all the smiling faces on the children and the people in the elderly community that are taken care of, those don't always get as much attention as the bricks and mortar projects, but those are some wonderful projects that we and our partners in agencies in this community do as well.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of immediate needs in a community. Why would you not just write a check right away to that organization? Why would you choose to gift your money through the foundation?
So there's a slide at the end, I think, here that demonstrates that just incredibly. But in a nutshell, if everybody 85 years ago was to have taken care of the community as we are talking to people today, we would be in a state of bliss. Because we just didn't talk about endowment building and legacy giving as much as we wish we would have. Churches have done a phenomenal job of that every week, reminding people about giving and how it's important to do. Thank you for bringing this slide up. This is a slide we use to talk about endowment building. And William Bray, he's one of our donors. He passed away in 1965, and he left a $400,000 gift to the Community Foundation at the time for scholarships. That fund is now worth $2.3 million and gives itself away almost every year. So it's just like I say, a personal 401k for yourself. It takes discipline right now to understand that that money is needed in the future, but as that money is invested with us, it continues to grow. It can do immediate good work, but it's also preserving those organizations for the future. So endowment building is extremely important. And as I said, if we would have been talking about this 30, 40, 50 years ago as much as we are now, all of our organizations, our wish for our organizations like the Senior Center is that you're able to do the service that you're meant to be doing and take care of your people and not always be worried about where's the money going to come from. And endowment building helps that.
Sure. So how does one even begin to start? Or is it too early to start planning, or when does a person start planning for giving in their life?
You can give anytime. And like I said, sometimes we have kids bring in money, and we have kids come in and purchase charitable gift cards, and that's a really neat thing to see. Generational giving is amazing to watch that happen. But some of the biggest gifts and some of the biggest planning happens when you execute a will, and when you discuss that type of giving in your life. And people are always concerned about taking care of their children, and if I give to philanthropy or this cause that I'm passionate about, will my kids still have and we have amazing tax people in this community and estate planners in this community that help walk through that and make those gifts a reality, and those are where you see some of the bigger gifts. But giving all the time is possible. We have of 600, almost, I think we're close to 700 funds that people can give to. Again, some of them are personal funds, but some of them are just areas of interest. And, I think there's always the perception when it comes to foundations I think we've done a better job of this, but I think there's always the perception that it has to be a big gift. It does not, I mean, big gifts are wonderful too, but little gifts are amazing, and all the little gifts that made up the pool are what make it is today, So it's all an individual choice on what you're able to do and what you're comfortable doing. At the end of the day, we say if every single person in Oshkosh left 1% of their estate to something that they cared about, it would be incredible how far ahead of the game we would be. 1%. That's all. 1%. But it's still a very small percentage of people do philanthropic work.
So what are some of those ways that you can make gifts? Because, maybe I don't have a whole lot, or I don't feel like I have a whole lot, and how would I make what little amount I have grow to one of those big gifts?
So we have a couple different pathways for that. We have a multitude of different types of funds. So there are funds with us like donor advised fund or agency funds again, or we have something called an acorn fund. And an acorn fund is a fund that you start with small size gifts and it grows to a mature fund. And in the foundation world, a matured fund is $10,000. And that mark is set across most foundations, and the reason it's $10,000 is it kind of is the number it takes to perpetuate more, because our money is invested. Most of our money is invested in the market, so that money then kind of has some leg and can grow. Sure. But acorn funds, you can add as little as $250 a year to them, and it's incredible how fast those funds grow into matured funds over time. And we have people, when their children are born or their grandchildren are born, they want to teach philanthropy to the next generation, and they'll open an acorn fund and they'll just add to it for gifts and Christmas and birthdays, and it's great. Ways to give, there are, with us at the Community Foundation, there are multiple ways to give. We of course have cash, but we take appreciated stock. We do charitable gift annuities right now, which is a very popular giving tool, because the interest rates on charitable gift annuities are pretty high. And I think we've actually worked with you at the Senior Center on a couple of those. And then we also have the ability to take homes, condos, property. We do charitable deed trusts. So we have the full menu on how to give to us and how to take those gifts and turn them into money for the organization that you care about.
Right. So back to the Acorn Fund, you were saying that you can go and put in, as little as $250 a year, and does that have to be the one lump sum of $250, or can you do it in increments, or how little can it be to get that to build?
So we have some donors that have $25 a paycheck taken out. Okay. So so that it's over here and they know that it's there and they can't wait for it to mature. But while it's there, they're just continuing to grow it. And the business that we're in, just as all of our agencies are different, our donors are completely different. Some of them want their funds to be really big so that they're able to do bigger giving, or they really, the endowment thing is really important to them. And some, they spend it as quick as they can because they want to make the impact as fast as they can. But yeah, you can do it as often or as, you can do the gift in one lump sum. But an acorn fund is a great way, especially if you're wanting to teach philanthropy to another generation, or as a couple you want to do it or something. Right. So it's great.
So we are lucky enough at the Senior Center to have a Friends organization that has a 501c3, and we do have a fund, the Friends do, I should say. And can you tell us a little bit about the Friends Fund?
Sure, absolutely I can. You have had a fund with us, I think, since the year 2000, and it is, of course, restricted to the work that you do at the Senior Center, and we, just as anything else I talked about with giving in, can take gifts of any size or charitable gift annuities that can be put into that fund, and I believe those dollars are directed by your group, the board of the Friends, and it's a great fund. And with changes happening in government, which we've been talking about too, just like endowment building, we have been talking about the changes that are going to come in the way government works and things that are funded in our communities that many of us have taken for granted that are going to go away. And so we're going to need to think about taking care of our individuals a lot differently than we used to.
Right, and I would say, we of course all know that baby boomers are turning 65 at record numbers, right? And at the Senior Center, actually, we're serving at 50. And at the same time, municipal budgets are shrinking, and so how would a Friends organization like ours then use that fund to help supplement what we're doing?
So some of the people that we see that have, like yourself, I think right now you guys have chosen not to spin off on that fund yet, but some of our funds grow to a size where they can run their operating, they can take care of their staff and their programming and their marketing budget, and those dollars can come out of there to run the organization. Some funds do just special things from those funds. So for example, maybe you have a donor that's really interested in the activities center and some of the fitness that happens in your organization. So we'll have donors that will come to us, just like they have passionate areas like the elderly. Maybe they will come to us and say, we think it's really important to keep people moving and keeping them very active. So they can fund that specific category underneath your fund, and we make sure those dollars are put towards that use. So I mean, you guys can use it however you would like, or donors. And that's the thing, we have people come to us kind of in two different ways. They either come through us through an agency, and the agency presents those dollars to us, or we have donors that, for whatever reason, sometimes donors want to stay anonymous and want to go a different pathway, and they come to us and establish a fund for an organization like yourself, and a lot of times they have the restrictions that they want on it. Again, like they want it just for fitness, or they want it, for other music programs that you do, or certain things, or dignity programs, like women get their hair done, and some of those great things for the people, and so then those can happen as well.
Exactly. We have just a few more minutes left, so if somebody wanted to give, make a donation to the Friends Endowment, how do they go about doing something like that?
So they can call the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation, go to our website. You can go right through to our website and then just type in the Friends of the Senior Center, and that fund would come up. Or they can always call us if they need more information or would like to learn more about some of the strategies we talked about in giving today, and we can act as the conduit to your fund and help them do that.
Very good.
And if the Friends of the Oshkosh Senior Center isn't their passion, they could call you about other organizations as well.
Absolutely. Yep. It's important to take care of all aspects of the community, and this is just one great one of them. So
yeah, we're just a little partial to the senior center, aren't
absolutely.
we?
Right.
Very important.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for being with us today. We really appreciate your time, and maybe we can flash up the information about how to give again with the phone number and the address, and that would be really helpful.
Yeah, and the subject is big and vast and takes a lot of conversation to fully understand, but I thank you for taking the opportunity to talk more about it, and anybody that wants to learn more, we are always willing to dive deeper into the subject. So
sure. Wonderful.
I would guess that a lot of people need some hand-holding and one-on-one help, because maybe I don't even know what half of those things that you rattled off even are, let alone how to start.
Right. And we are experts in the work that we do, but when it comes to like creative estate planning and creative gift giving, we work with experts as well. So that's a great thing about us. We pull in the right people on those when it comes to some very sophisticated giving. We pull in people as well. So.
Sure. Well, again, I just want to echo what Julie said. Thank you for all the work that you do for the community, and for agencies like ours who, as we try to figure out our way through all of this, and individuals too, as we try and figure our way out. So thank you for your work.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bergtauer, and I'm asking for your help. The city has several boards and commissions that play important roles in just about every aspect of local government. Whether it's the Parks Board or the Landmarks Commission, these and other boards act as a forum for citizens to address their concerns and questions about Oshkosh city government. The boards also provide members the opportunity to make positive suggestions to the council or city staff to move the city forward. So here's where we need your help. For our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Many of our boards and commissions currently need members. We're asking for just a few hours of your time each month to serve on one of our boards or commissions and help to ensure a strong democratic process. So please consider serving on a city board or commission. For an application, visit the city website, stop by the city manager's office in City Hall, or call 236-5000. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your possible involvement.
Welcome back to Senior Savvy. Well, that was a lot of information to process and to try to understand, but if you have any questions, please feel free to call the Community Foundation, or else Julie Kiefer, of course, at the Oshkosh Senior Center is very knowledgeable about these matters as well. We were a little neglectful when we opened up, and we were busy talking about my new position.
I know, we got so excited we forgot, right?
I know, exactly. Sorry. But we also have a new health coordinator at the Oshkosh Senior Center.
We sure do. Her name is Paula Seeley, and she'll be with us about 10 or 11 hours a week, working on coordinating health services and finding new ways and coordinations and just ways to work with the community to provide those services that our seniors are used to having at the senior center.
Yes.
So,
and just touching base with different groups within the senior center that might have specific needs that they would like to talk to, you know, somebody who's educated in the health field about. She's a really dynamic person. If I encourage you to stop down and just take some time to chat with her, because she has a very interesting background and lots of stories to tell too. So.
yeah. Yes, she's made staff meetings very fun.
Yes. So our big event is coming up, one that we are very excited about, and this will be our second run at it now.
It will, so this time we'll know what we're doing, right?
That's right, FFFF. What is that again? Now we know.
Yes, we do know. We can actually say it without stumbling.
That's right.
So Fall Family Fun Fest takes place every year on the second Sunday in September, rain or shine, at the Oshkosh Senior Center. And just because it's at the Senior Center doesn't mean that it's only for our seniors. This is an event that we invite the whole community to. Where it lands on Grandparents' Day.
What a coincidence.
Yes. And we thought, you know, who else to celebrate Grandparents' Day except for the Senior Center? And so this actually was an event that was started through our Friends organization. And we have all kinds of great activities. You can see right now the bouncy house and games for little kids, as well as games for older kids and adults. Have you ever played the Minute to Win It games?
Aren't they a blast?
They are.
And we have such a wide variety of them that, you know, and like you said, it's both for the kids and the adults. The adults enjoy playing them just as much as the kids do.
Well, I know we had fun because we were playing them the day before as we were setting up. And they are quite entertaining. So, and you have basically to play those games, you have 1 minute to try to see how much of something that you can do.
To complete a task.
To complete a task. So those are lots of fun. And then, you know, the big draw, what everybody really, really, really loves is the Del Reys.
Yes,
and they are in the tent. We do have a big tent in the parking lot at the North Building, and the Del Reys are there. There's grilled burgers and brats and hot dogs and chips and soda, all for sale. And we try to keep all of those prices nice and low so that families can afford it. And then back inside our North Building, then there's other activities as well, like we have a great silent auction and popcorn for sale and a bake sale.
Right. And I just want to reiterate the point you made about the prices of things are kept really low. So we don't want anyone to feel excluded or like they can't come because they can't afford it. You know, the games are just, you know, you buy tickets, I think they're 25 cents a piece.
Right.
The games all have prizes, so everybody comes away with something. And the lunch is very, very reasonably priced. And we really just want everyone to come out and celebrate fall, celebrate. If you get to be there with your grandparents, celebrate, you know, the family, the intergenerational aspect of it. Just come on down and enjoy a really good time. It's a really neat event. And not only do we have the bouncy house in the parking lot this year and the tent with the Del Reys and the food, but we also have several other things going on in there, don't we?
We have a a number of city vehicles that are coming, like fire trucks and police cars and some of those kinds of fun things. And then Glacier Ridge Animal Farm is coming with the mini petting zoo. So that's always a lot of fun.
Exactly.
To see all those fun animals. And so that's another really great activity. And then we also got a photo booth. We like to have a grandparent gift every year. And so this year, we tried last year taking a photo for every family.
Right.
And we thought this would be a fun take on that. That you could get either fun or serious pictures, but
So
you're
one of
going
those
to
where
get kind
you
of
hop in and they click, 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 click.
It is like that, and there's some props. So if you want to do funny pictures, you can, or if you want to do a nice little set of pictures, you can do that as well. But there'll be 4 on a strip so that you can each, if there's parents and grandparents and kids there, everybody can go away with a little picture and a reminder of that day. And Conrad Bellman Funeral Home was the sponsor for that, making that possible.
Very
so
neat.
That's really neat.
And actually, I have from my childhood one of those where my mom and I went into it, and it's one of my most prized pictures of the two of us together. So you just don't realize the memories you're going to make on something as simple as a photo booth and being silly.
One of those fun days.
Yes.
And then another great thing that we do that day, and then we are starting to sell tickets now, so you can buy them at the senior center or from someone who's on staff or in the board.
Me?
Or me, because we do have a competition. So call me. We have a great raffle that includes a 39-inch flat screen TV, and we got that from Castle. So thank you,
nice.
Mr. Castle. An overnight in the Dells, which is a night in the Kalahari, along with a pizza, and so that's a lot of fun. And we also have a Kindle Fire, which is we thank you, the Shopko Foundation, for making that possible.
Very nice.
And so tickets are only $5 each for a chance to win one of those 3 items, or you can get 3 for $10. So very reasonably priced, and just a great fundraiser. When we talk about endowment building and how our senior centers and municipalities going to do more with less, this is how we could do it. The reason we are able to provide this funding, provide this level of services to our seniors is because we've done some fundraisers, and we are able to raise some funds and help make those things stay really affordable.
So tell me again, if I want to buy the raffle tickets, where do I go? And then can I also buy them the day of the Fall Family Fun Fest? And when do you draw? When do I win?
When do you win? We draw at the very end of the event. However, you do not have to be present to win.
Okay.
So you can buy the ticket, and if you need to leave early, you're not going to miss out.
Okay.
But you can buy the tickets at the 2 buildings. So we have buildings at 200 North Campbell Street, and then we have the North Building right across the parking lot from there. And so you could come into either of our 2 buildings. You could, if you know a staff person or a board person or maybe somebody who's just very active at the senior center, they can probably hook you up with some raffle tickets.
And then, of course, on the day of Fall Family Fun Fest, there will be, both in the tent and in the North Building, there will be opportunities to purchase raffle tickets there as well.
Right.
So I'm not sure we mentioned the time that the event runs from.
Right. The event runs from 11 to 3, and then also that day we are also doing our Granny Smith walk. And so
that's a little bit different.
That is a little bit different. Granny Smith Walk was always a separate event, and it took place in October. And this year we are going to have it part of Fall Fest. And thinking about where are our groups of people and what makes a walk fun, this is just, why not do it all together?
Exactly.
And so we are going to take advantage of that river walk that runs behind our building and use that to do a fun walk. And we've made it real affordable. If you sign up in advance, it's $7. Day of, it's $10, and children 10 and under are free. So it's a really great event, and there's lots of chances to win great prizes through that as well. Everybody who walks, everyone who walks gets thrown in the pot to win prizes.
Excellent. And we're banking on it going to be a beautiful day again. Last year we had an absolutely gorgeous day, and we're hoping for that again this year again. Fall Family Fun Fest is Sunday, September 8th from 11 until 3 o'clock. We hope to see you there at the Oshkosh Senior Center. You don't have to be a senior. You don't have to even know a senior to come down to that event. It's a great event for the entire family. Thank you so much for watching Senior Savvy.